This is a brief introduction to Smartboard um, as a tool to develop lessons. Only have about 5 minutes to do this, so we're going to just kind of run through really quickly some of the things that it can do. What you're looking at right now is called the Smart Notebook, and you can usually find this in your Start menu, Smart Technologies, and then there's a Smart Notebook. If it's there, the app will be there. If not, you should try to put in a request. If you're a faculty, you should put a request in with IT to try to get that put in. In here on the left-hand side, this first little category. You can see that it's got tabs. This first little category are the pages you've created. And you can create as many pages as you want. Not all of them have to be quote unquote interactive. Some of them can be uh, just straight, almost like PowerPoint pages in that respect. Because you can record this kind of stuff. So these are the pages. You can rearrange them, drag them wherever you want. You can create different groups and that sort of thing. The second one is where you can get more content. Now, this one has in the gallery sample. It doesn't have a lot. Some smart installations will have a huge gallery of stuff, and it's great because you can just drag over, which I've done to create these initial slides, to drag over the really good stuff, the interactive stuff, and then make adjustments to it. Anyway, so it has it on categories and things like that. Um, and then the Smart Exchange, where you can search and find stuff. I find that most of the smart lessons out there are more geared towards K-12. It makes sense to do so. A lot of them in the elementary and middle school range. Every once in a while, you find something that can be adapted for higher education. Every once in a while, you find something that is higher education. Higher education obviously is more focused on content, but there may be ways that we can really reach those students. Okay, and then you got in here, you got files that you can drop in. I just dropped a file in here just to show that it can be done. And you can use those files to drag and drop in here into your Smart. So if you actually published your Smart presentation to someplace and you wanted students to interact with that, they could actually have access to files, and it becomes kind of a file repository. That's that. And the last one is fill effects and page recording. Page recording is the one to look at. You can actually record what you do on this page and then play it and have somebody be able to watch that, watch you go through the motions of whatever it is, and then talk through and record your voice. Okay, so quickly looking at this. This is an interactive timeline, which is one of the things I thought of that would be useful for higher education. You can see that each one of these has been programmed to a date, and this is basically history of the internet. A brief in the way we manage this is we go inside and we look at how we've edited it, put a password in there so that people can't go in and look at the answers. If you want to make this serious, you can change the number of dates, basically put the date in and the event, and that's all it is. And you hit OK, and you can go through. This is kind of a supplementary display instead of just having a bullet list. It takes just a few minutes to create. The second one is actually something that's more of a child's thing to do, but it still is getting people to think, and it certainly is an example of the kinds of interactivity you can have. So if you click the start button here we have a word we have to scramble, and I actually know what the word is because, of course, I created it. I don't think I'll get it over there in time. Hard to do with a mouse. Go. And I finally got it, even though I ran out of time. I could also put clues in, which I did. And so if I didn't know the word, the first word of this text, which is smart, and here it is, smart, board, and interactive with clues on each one. Create a timer, not have a timer, have a fast speed, have slow speed, and again, put passwords up. Okay, just a couple more examples. You can put in images and have image matches, like this is Al Gore. These are people that theoretically had an impact on the internet. Al Gore's a joke one. Bill Gates is over here. Zuckerberg, Mr. Facebook, and oh, swap that. Zuckerberg, Sean Parker, and Steve Jobs. And then you click check, and it tells you whether you got it right or not. Again, edit, really simple. Just drag the images in. In our last few seconds here, just note that you can also create things like this, where you have to sort words, and you can see how those are in the right places. I created my own little Venn diagram. This is not interactive. It's just a place where I could drag labels and put them in the right places. And then finally, I even have the ability to get students to drag over labels to different parts of images. And these, again, are not interactive other than just forcing students to do that. These are the kinds of activities you can do. You also have screen covering ability and some other tools across the top.